Have you ever thought that maybe investing is just not for you and it's something only reserved for the wealthy or for men? If so, I am here to prove you wrong because we are going to completely simplify investing. A lot of women were never taught how to invest because traditionally that's not where the roles fell, right? Money was always handled by the men, but things have changed and we need to evolve and teach ourselves as well. But because of that, so many of us feel confused, behind, or even ashamed. But here's the truth. You do not need a lot of money, you don't need a finance degree, and you do not need to be perfect to start. In this video, I am breaking down investing 101 with no jargon, no stress, no pressure, just clear and honest steps to help you start growing your money more confidently, even if you're just starting out with $100. In this video, I'm gonna go over what investing is and why you need to do it, the stock market basics, 2 very easy ways that you can get started with investing, as well as actionable next steps towards the end of this video. So make sure you stick around and let's go ahead and get right into it. Investing is simply putting your money into something like real estate, the stock market, crypto, or even a business with the expectation that that money will grow over time. The goal is to earn more money from your money. That's it. And today in this video, we're going to focus on the easiest and most accessible way of investing, and that is by investing in the stock market. Let's start with 3 lessons on why you should invest. 1 is to beat inflation. Have you noticed that when you go to the grocery store now, $100 barely gets you a few items, where back in the day in $100 you could probably get your whole week's or 2 weeks worth of groceries? That is because the prices of all these goods and services has gone up in the last few years, and this is called inflation. It's harder to keep up with. And our money actually loses its value against inflation if it's just sitting there, especially in cash or in a savings account. Number 2 is to create passive income. Investing is how you make money without constantly trading your time in for money. When your money is invested wisely, it can grow on its own, even while you sleep. And number 3 is to build wealth over time. Let me give you a quick example. If you invest $500 a month into an index fund, like the S&P 500, if you have no idea what I just said or what that means, don't worry because I'm covering it later in this video. This historically gives you 10% annual returns. In 30 years, you would have had over $1 million. Now compare that to simply saving your $500 in a bank account. You would only have $180,000. That is the power of investing. It's not by luck. It happens with consistency. Stock market basics. Okay, let's get into what exactly the stock market is, because maybe you don't even know what it is or how it works, and that's completely fine. That's why we're talking about it. The stock market is just a big marketplace where you buy and sell stocks. And stocks are simply shares of a company. So anytime you buy a stock, you own a little piece of a company. Let's say you buy Tesla stock. So now you own a little bit of Tesla. When the Tesla stock goes up, your money increases. I'm going to cover 2 simple ways on how you can get started with investing easily. Number 1, the easiest way to start investing is usually through your company. Now, if you work a corporate job, most companies will offer something called a 401k. Don't let the name intimidate you. It's simply just an investment account for your retirement. Here's how it works. You choose how much of your paycheck gets put into this retirement account. It can be 5% or it can be more. Your employer then goes ahead, automatically pulls that money from your paycheck and automatically invests it into this retirement account. So you do not have to choose which stocks to invest that money in. You do not have to do anything, honestly. Your employer does it for you, so it's a complete no-brainer. It's something that is just happening in the background. And often, the reason why a 401k through an employer is so great is because often the employer will match your contribution. So if you contribute $250 and your employer is doing a 3-to-1 match, that means they will add $750 into your retirement account. That is free money. So please do not leave this out on the table. So anytime you are starting a new job, or even if you are currently working for an employer, make sure to ask if they have a 401k plan and if they do any sort of match. And if you know that your employer offers this, but you're not sure at all how to get started or anything, just reach out to your HR and they will guide you through it and how to get set up. Also, if your employer does not offer a 401k retirement account, this is something you can totally do on your own through a broker. But the only thing is that you will obviously not be getting a employer match. So it's just going to be your money going in and being invested. And there is a little bit of work where you will then need to also pick out which stocks or funds to invest that money into. If you want a more in-depth video on how to do that and where to invest and all that, then let me know in the comments below so I can get on that. The second easy way to invest is DIY investing. This is you doing it on your own, and I promise you it's not as scary or intimidating as it sounds. People in the industry and men have just made it sound a lot more complicated. DIY investing means that you are just setting up your own account online, something called a brokerage account. It's not scary. It's literally the same process or a very similar process to you going on, let's say, Bank of America's website and opening up a checking or savings account. It's a very similar process and it's pretty easy, but instead of a checking or savings account, it's just called a brokerage account, and it's specifically for investments. Think of a brokerage like a shopping app, but instead of buying clothes or whatever, you're buying and selling stocks. Examples of brokerage platforms are Fidelity, Vanguard, M1 Finance, Charles Schwab, and SoFi. These platforms make investing super easy. Vanguard is my personal favorite because it's pretty easy to use, and it also has some of the lowest fees in the industry. You just go to their website, open up a account for free, and you start investing. You'll just have to link your bank account to that brokerage account so that you can bring money in and then invest it. But now you're thinking, okay, how do I invest it? Where do I invest it? And I think that this is where a lot of, if not most people, get hung up and confused. The thing is, and the truth is, that you don't actually have to invest in individual stocks to be a good investor. You don't have to figure out if Apple and Tesla are doing well. You don't have to go through financial statements and God knows what other things. Actually skip all of that. Most beginners, and I'll go as far as to say not even just beginners, but even advanced investors, just invest in something simple called index funds or ETFs. Funds and ETFs are basically bundles of stocks. So instead of just investing in one company like Tesla, you are actually investing in hundreds or even thousands of companies just by buying one ETF or one fund. What is the benefit of that? It's a lot safer because if one company goes under, it's not going to tank that ETF. All of the other stocks in that bundle keep things balanced. So it's a lot less riskier. It's a lot easier because, again, you don't have to do all this research on individual stocks and figure out what to invest in. And it's just easier to be consistent with it, especially if you're just starting out. Now, before this gets confusing, let me just talk about what an index is real quick if you're not sure what an index fund even is. An index is simply a list or a group of companies. Think of it like a scoreboard that tracks a group of how the top companies are doing overall. For example, the S&P 500, which is something that you will hear so much in investing, but all it is it's one of the most popular indexes. So the S&P 500 is just a index or a list of the top 500 companies in the US. Things like Apple, Google, Nike, and Target. So when you invest in a S&P 500 index, you're not just investing in one company, you are investing in hundreds of companies all at once through just one simple fund. And an ETF, which stands for exchange traded fund, is basically just another way to do the same thing, where you buy a ready-made mix of companies in a single package. If you want a visual, think of a fruit basket. Instead of researching and picking individual fruits one by one, you grab a basket that has a bunch of mixed fruits. This way, you're getting more nutrition, more vitamins, more variety. That's what index funds and ETFs do for you. They give you a balanced, diversified way to invest with less stress and less risk. They're perfect for beginners and they grow steadily over time. So you can start small and build up without getting overwhelmed. Some really popular and basic ETFs that most beginners start with are VOO, VTI, or SPY. You can start with as little as $50 or $100. You don't need to wait until you're ready or until you have enough money to buy one entire ETF. In fact, many brokerages let you buy just a fraction of these ETFs or funds, which means you can invest even if one share of an ETF costs $400. You can buy into it even with just $50 or even $20. And once you choose a fund, you just automate it. In these brokerage accounts, you can set it up where the brokerage account will automatically pull money from your bank's checking account and then just invest it into the funds that you've selected on a monthly basis, or you can do it every 2 weeks. You can do it as often as you want. Set it up in a way to invest a small amount every single month, like a subscription for your future self. That way you are investing consistently without even thinking about it. It's just happening in the background. So now that you know what the stock market is and how to invest and what to invest in, what are some actionable next steps that you can take right now? Number one is to check with your employer if they offer a 401k plan. If they do, wonderful. Go ahead and contact your HR and work with them to get your 401k account set up and running. Number two, open up a brokerage account using one of the platforms I mentioned earlier. Vanguard, again, is my personal favorite. And three is to start investing in an ETF like VOO, VTI, or SPY. These ETFs are some of the most popular ones amongst beginners, and they invest in some of the largest and most successful companies in the US. Set up automated investing into these accounts so you are automatically investing some money into it every single month. So to recap, investing is not just for the rich. You don't need thousands of dollars to get started. You can get started with 20, 50, or $100. You can start through your job or get your own brokerage account or do both. Index funds and ETFs are the easiest way to get started and to invest in. They are stress-free and low risk, and they will be your best friends and you will get a great return on them. I hope that this video made investing a little bit less intimidating. And if it did help you in any way or provided you with any value, it would really mean a lot to me if you went ahead and hit that red subscribe button. This way you will be notified anytime I upload similar videos. If you want to learn now how to manage your money even better, then I highly suggest you check this video out next where I go over just that. I will catch you in the next video.